And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank you for being here tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live in the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere. And I don't know where to start. First of all, thank y'all for joining. I know I'm late tonight, but it's not my fault. Please blame the white man. Y'all know how I do, but we got a lot talking about. We got a lot going on tonight, a lot to discuss tonight. We got to talk about the Zelensky speech that just came on. That's pretty important to talk about. It was a mess, but we're going to get into it. We'll try to find some clips and whatnot to reference. Also, we got to talk about these meme stock guys getting indicted by the federales over $114 million worth of stock schemes, stock fraud, whatever you want. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Also, we got to talk about the Bling Bishop, the Bling pastor, the flashy pastor, Mr. Lamor Whitehead out there in Brooklyn, New York, getting arrested by the federales for fraud, extortion, the same thing he had been locked up for before he came out in 2013. We'll talk about that in depth a little bit later. Also, a video has gone viral on Twitter, especially of a white Atlanta police officer being escorted away from the scene because of his race. You know, you're in a mostly black crowd. They're talking about Black Lives Matter, all this, that, and the third. They don't want them there. We'll talk about men leaving the workforce in droves, allegedly. And all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you enjoy what you're hearing thus far, if you enjoy the content, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. You know, I'm late tonight. I was kind of sick before this. I was a little bit sick. I was like, man, am I going to be able to do it? But then I started feeling better. It was like, okay, you're feeling better. Hop on and do it. So now I'm here. We good. We're good. Money. Thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best. Now, I couldn't do this show without you. But we are going to get into some good topics. And before I start, what I want to say. Before I start, we got the sponsors, of course. Shout out to my websites, AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. You can find all my articles that I write for each video. And hopefully the website's working. I talked to my web host today because the website, it's some issues. So I'll talk to my web host today. Hopefully they'll get that resolved. If there's any problems with you guys, a lot of you guys sending me emails saying, hey man, I'm trying to go to your website and it's not displaying properly. I'm getting weird ads. So hopefully we fix all that. It's been kind of a work in progress, but I still update the website as much as possible. For each video I produce, I put out an article that goes with it so you can fact check me. You can find videos I can't play in full. If you want to see an uncensored video, I'm able to post it right there. So yeah, AnthonyBLogan.com, ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Also go to ABLmerch.com. That is ABLmerch.com. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ABLmerch.com. Also go to my sponsor pages. Go to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these internets. Again, patriotpost.us. Check it out. Also, go to, one second, I almost got a couple of myself. Go to bhedesigns.com. That is BHEDESIGNS.com for the beautiful handmade wooden flags that are right behind me. And all these links shall be in the description. Also, this is a podcast you're listening to right now being recorded live. If you want to hear the audio only version, go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. There's also a link right in this description box. This particular podcast should be available tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So today's Wednesday, December 21st, 2022. So Thursday, December 22nd, 2022, it'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform for free. Just type it in the box. Go to the description. Wherever you are, you can find me. ABL Live on your favorite audio streaming platform for the audio only version of this podcast you're listening to right now. So yes, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling wonderful. Everything is good. I was like about that much probably dehydrated, I think. So I had some of this, y'all know if you've been here for a long time, I'm a big fan of coconut water, but I had a coconut water kind of like smoothie type of thing, or like a charm. It's like drinking Pedialyte or something like that. So yeah, I'm good. I am good. I know you guys will talk about Zelensky. I did catch Zelensky. I did watch that just a little while ago. That was a mess. I'm gonna talk about Zelensky in a minute because if you guys have not been here for a while, I want you to, stream on in, get yourself nice and comfortable. You might thought I was not gonna do a show tonight, so you coming on the YouTube like, hey, he's on. So come on in. Get yourself comfortable. We'll talk about Zelensky a little bit later because that is a very, very pressing topic. But what am I going to do first? I think my first thing will be, let's talk about the meme stock arrest. I'll talk about that first. Okay, that'll be the first one. Okay. So the meme stocks, we'll talk about that first, then Zelensky a little bit later. So these guys, who are these guys? Atlas Trading. Have you guys seen these people? So basically on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I think mostly Instagram, TikTok, probably Instagram and Twitter. These guys are most popular. These guys called Atlas Trading. This person that went by, I guess you would say a pseudonym of Zach Morris. This guy had a really big following because he had a verified account back when you could only get verified accounts through, how can I say, like legacy. So for example, if quote unquote Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell, if that was an actual account that was verified and it was run by somebody with the studio or the actual company that hosts the right Saved by the Bell, they would verify that account to let you know that this is a real account linked to the fictional character, I suppose. But then, a lot of these legacy accounts went up on the marketplace. You could buy them. So you could just go on Google and search, or you could just see that they'd be right there. Okay, Twitter verified accounts for sale. Back in the day before they did the whole Twitter blue thing, you could buy a blue check mark. You could actually buy an account that already was verified. So that's probably what happened. The guy bought the account. It had Zach Morris on it. It was already verified. And I think for a while he was using the fictional character Zach Morris's picture. So he was able to gain a following that way. He's putting out financial advice, financial tips and tricks. And then he was able to sell people things from his account. He was able to sell prestige. He was able to sell his strategies to be able to invest into certain stocks. And a bunch of other guys kind of joined him. They're about 6 to 8 guys deep in Atlas Trading. And what they would do is set up channels on social media, Discord especially, where they would pump a stock up and then sell it. That was the whole thing. They would just pick stocks. There was one particular stock, I think it was called some kind of energy, Camber Energy. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But they picked the stock, Camber Energy, whatever it was, and pumped it up so much by telling everybody, hey, investing in this stock because we're going to get it real high, we'll make a bunch of money, et cetera, et cetera. They pumped stock up so much from the people that they brought on board as followers, people in their community or whatever, people that want to follow Atlas Trading and get stock advice. They pumped it up so much from what it was that I think the guy, quote unquote, Zach Morris, made like 4.5 million or some kind of crazy amount of money. It was a lot of cash they were making from these pump and dump schemes out in the open. And then they would say stuff like, the SEC won't find us. They're morons, all this, that, and the third. But the SEC most certainly did find them. Now, here's a question. Here's a question. Thank you, backup. Camber Energy. Yep. $ CEI. Was that it? Now, here's the thing about these guys, Camber Energy, all these people. What they did as far as a pump and dump situation was not necessarily uncommon. And I kind of want to address this right now because I didn't really get to it too much in the actual video I did about it earlier in the week. a lot of hedge funds and other guys will go on TV do the same thing. A hedge fund will send a guy out there, suit and tie on CNBC. He'll incite panic about a certain stock. Oh, that stock's not doing well. They don't have any money. That company sucks. You should sell that position. If they don't say sell the position, they'll kind of hint towards it. They'll put out doom and gloom on a particular company, on a particular stock. That stock tanks, or they'll pump it up by saying it's a good stock. But whatever they do, whether they tank it or make it go up, they are able to make money off of that transaction. Okay, that's just kind of how it is. And that practice is okay. It's okay for a hedge fund to go out there and do that. It's totally fine. It's not really a problem. Then you have the whole thing of insider trading, which is totally fine depending upon who you are. If you're Martha Stewart and you insider trade, well, you go into the penitentiary because you're not quite in the club. You're kind of in there because you're a famous person or whatever. You got some money. Okay, cool. You're part of the Hollywood establishment, but you're not part of the political elite or the financial elite. So you got to go to the penitentiary, Martha Stewart, for insider trading. But Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, they are actual lawmakers who can pass legislation that would directly impact a stock. So they have knowledge of what the law is going to be before the law gets passed. They pass it. And at the same time, like right before they pass it, they sell off a bunch of stock related to the law that's going to pass. So if a certain law is going to affect the stock and reduce the price or increase the price, they'll sell or buy based on that. If it's going to increase the price of the stock, they'll buy before the law gets passed. So they're able to have the stock go up real high on a spike and sell at the top of the spike. If the law they pass reduces the stock, well, they could just have it go down by the dip. They could do whatever they want to do because they have the prior knowledge of how laws are going to affect things. They know what's going to happen. So that's insider trading directly. But it's okay if you're in politics. It's okay if you are a hedge fund manager. It's okay if you are Susie Orman, Peter Schiff, Jim Cramer, TV types that go on television and say that stock sucks, that stock sucks. And when people react to what they say, they could benefit directly financially based upon what they do with their stock. But if you are a meme stock guy pumping and dumping these random stocks, you're going to get penitentiary time. So it's interesting to see kind of what's going on. Very interesting. But I think that ultimately these guys will probably go to get some jail time because, or it'd be a really big fine, nothing else, because it's about sending a message. It's about you guys can't really do that with the whole meme stock thing. And I was wondering how the meme stock trend would end. I was wondering about that. I was wondering how they were going to get guys on this. And I think what they did here was find some blatantly obvious guys and say, okay, we're going to get you. Your regular everyday normie making a couple of dollars off of GameStop or AMC. They're not going to get them. But the big fish, the quote unquote Zach Morris out here with a big crazy car on Instagram and houses and girls and millions of dollars, they'll get them to set an example for everyone else that may want to do it. They can't prosecute every single person that may be involved in this, so they get the big fish. Same thing with the PPP loans. I know so many people who have engaged in some kind of fraud with the PPP loan, some kind of fraud, or they were trying to do it. They were trying to do it. So the whole thing with the PPP loan, if anybody gets indicted, arrested, locked up, or whatever on that, then you know it's about setting an example. It's not really about them trying to prosecute everyone. It's about, hey, okay, we're getting the big fish, so anyone else, you might kind of get scared, turn yourself in, or you might not want to continue on with your fraud. It's just a tactic they use to try and keep things under control because they can't get everyone. They can't get all the meme stock guys. They can't get all the PPP fraudsters. So they get some of the big fish that are not untouchable. Some of the untouchable guys to leave alone, unless you're Sam Bankman-Fried. And I don't know where he's going to go. Did you guys see him get arrested? The perp walk or whatever. And he has been, he has agreed to be extradited. Now, I didn't know that's how that worked. So Sam Bankman-Fried, Sam Bankman-Fried, the guy who was behind FTX, the quote unquote stock exchange was really just a Ponzi scheme. This guy was in the Bahamas, got arrested, and I think there was going to be an order to send him back to the U.S., but it didn't get there right when he got arrested. And I'm watching the news, and they say, oh, he's agreed to be extradited. I'm like, is that how that works? I didn't know that El Chapo was like, you know what? Okay, yeah, cool. Send me to the U.S., arrest me there, lock me up there. Can you request where you get sent to? Either you get extradited or you don't. I didn't know it was a request. Like, hey, Sam, you want to come back to the U.S.? Like, is that what you want to do? All right, cool. Yeah, I agree. I signed off on that. Ridiculous stuff. But we're going to see what happens to him. He'll probably get a long time in the joint because of the scope of what he did. And a lot of elite people, a lot of big celebrities, big time people were involved. They're trying to sue celebrity spokespeople for damages behind it. I think they were trying to sue Shaq, talking about, oh, well, you're the reason why I lost so much money. It might have been Shaq or Charles Barkley, one of these guys, one of these former basketball players. And then whoever it was, Shaq or Chuck, was like, well, I don't even understand crypto. So when you have a celebrity endorsement, take it with a grain of salt, because these guys will get paid to say anything. They'll come out on TV, endorse a product, endorse a service, endorse a company, and have no idea about the company, product, or service. They're just getting paid to do a job. That's pretty much what it is. Kevin O'Leary. Does Kevin O'Leary know about cryptocurrency? I know he's a big finance guy, but finance and crypto are not the same thing. So did he even really know about crypto? If he knew about crypto, why would he have his own personal cash invested into it? Or why would he agree to be a spokesperson and get paid in quote unquote crypto? That's like getting paid in attention, getting paid in Instagram likes. At this point, that's pretty much the value of the crypto that he got. He got some of the FTT coin and some stakes in the actual company, if I'm not mistaken. It was like 14 million. It was, I think it might be $15 million he got paid, and 14 million was in crypto, FTT coin, and other kind of stupid stuff like that. Why would you do that if you understood crypto? Why would you take that deal? I would not take a deal where I get paid in crypto. Give me the cash. If I want to buy crypto on my own and try to finagle it or flip it some kind of way, then that's my prerogative. But why would I get paid in crypto? Because the only monetary value of crypto beyond any kind of utility or whatever technology, the only monetary value of crypto is what I can sell for it in US dollars. So it didn't make any sense from the jump, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, shout out to the meme stock guys. Shout out to Sam Bankman-Fried, all these guys getting locked up for fraud. We're going to see where this whole thing ends up for sure. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Also, let's talk about, speaking about fraud and whatnot, let's talk about the bling bling pastor, Lamor Whitehead. Now, you guys had to have known that Lamor Whitehead was up to no good based upon his appearance. Like, it's not always good to judge someone based upon their appearance, how they look, but sometimes it makes sense. It's like, okay, you have a pastor, right, who already been locked up for identity theft. Okay, so let's go back to 2004. Before I get into the news, okay, before I go back to 2004, who was Lamor Whitehead? Okay, the bling bling pastor. Remember back this summer where his church got robbed at gunpoint on camera? Remember this? I'll put it on the screen. Remember that right there where he got robbed on gunpoint, at gunpoint on camera? Matter of fact, let me see if I can find the actual video of the robbery. I know I have it. So, all right, let's do this. Matter of fact, that's perfect. Let's play the video of the church robbery, and then we're going to get into the update about the actual pastor getting locked up for fraud and what is it? Some kind of coercion, something like that. Oh, extortion, fraud, extortion, and whatnot. Okay. Let's get a little bit of sound here. That'll work.
Into preaching Sunday morning on Remsen Avenue in Canarsie, Bishop Lamor Whitehead saw the door in the back of the room kick open.
How many of you have lost your faith because you saw somebody else die what you about to go through. Yo. All right.
I seen 3 to 4 men come in. I said, all right. It's pretty much stating that I'm not going to do anything, right? Because I know y'all coming for me. Y'all coming straight to me. I don't want my parishioners hurt, right? I got women and children there. As I got down, one went to my wife and took all her jewelry and had the gun in front of my 8-month-old baby's face. Took off my bishop's ring, my wedding band, and took off my bishop's chain, and then I had chains underneath my robe. He started tapping my neck to see if anything else. So that means they knew. They watched and they knew that I have other jewelry.
The church's live stream shows the gun being held on the pastor.
They had the guns on my deacons that was at the door.
Whitehead says what you don't see on camera are around 100 congregants who were in the room. Men, women, and children dropped to the floor in silence.
My church is traumatized. The women and children are still crying. Still crying. Babies are still crying.
So basically, that's what happened back this summer, right? The church got robbed, gunpoint, the whole thing. And that's the man right there, Bishop Lamor Whitehead, and he's been arrested now for fraud and extortion and whatnot. So let's go back. Let's go back to him, and let's see how this guy looks on an everyday basis, right? You saw him right there, kind of dressed down during the after robbery situation. Okay, you saw him kind of dressed down, but here he is right here. Now, is that his car? I'm not really sure. It might be. Looks pretty nice to me. You know, look at the drip. Look at the suit. Okay, very, very nice. And then you see the chains. Okay, iced out, a bunch of diamonds and gold and all of that. Just ridiculous stuff, pimp stuff, right? Just the cufflinks. I mean, this is kind of crazy stuff. You have on a watch, a bracelet as big as a watch, cufflinks, rings. Is that a ruby? Like, is that from National Treasure? Is that the Nick Cage situation? Like, what's going on with that? Just ridiculous amounts of stuff, right? When you see this, you're like, okay, where is he getting all this money from? What's really happening? And here's one more picture of him. Okay, Gucci, more, the same chain, iced out. There's his wife right there, also iced out. Okay, big diamond earrings. You see what's going on here, right? Now, apparently what he does for a living is he has a church, and I think he's involved in real estate, allegedly. But how do you have so much jewelry on as a pastor? Like, what's really going on? And a lot of you guys called it, first of all, about the church robbery from 4 months ago or back in the summertime. A lot of you guys called it, like you were saying the robbery was fake, because it probably was a situation where you staged a robbery and then you're able to cash out on insurance. You stage a robbery, you take the jewelry. Okay, the guys give you the jewelry back. You get an insurance check. You cut it and give them a cut. Give them 20%, 10%, or whatever for staging the robbery. But 2 of those guys got locked up for the robbery by the federal agents out there in New York City. So maybe it was staged. Maybe it wasn't. I don't particularly know. I don't think it was if the guys got arrested. But then again, you could get arrested, but not for the robbery. If you got arrested and it was fake and they knew it was fake, meaning the feds knew it was fake, then it'd be for some fraud type stuff, not necessarily about an armed robbery, potentially. But anyway, two guys got locked up for the robbery. Maybe it was fake, maybe it wasn't, but that's neither here nor there right now. The whole point is that Lamor Whitehead got arrested again because he had engaged in fraud and not identity theft, but fraud and extortion. Now, let's go back to 2004. Now, back in 2004, he was a full-time Brooklyn scammer, all right? Now, I'm not saying all Brooklynites are scammers. That's what they do, but you're going to have scammers in Brooklyn, Atlanta, places like that. That's what they do. They're out there. You got small-time guys like this guy was. You got big-time guys like Sam Bankman-Fried, Bernie Madoff, and whatnot. But anyway, I digress. So what he was doing back then was stealing identities to buy cars. A lot of people in, I think, Long Island, Suffolk County, they were getting bills that they owed for luxury vehicles. He was selling identities and buying cars with them. And he did that a lot. He did identity theft. That was his main thing. Stealing identity, stealing money. That was his shtick. He was doing that from like 04 to 07, 08. He got locked up in 07, I think, 08, and was released in 2013. That's when he got out. So he did a 5-year prison term in the federal penitentiary. 5 years in the joint. He comes home 2013 and he starts a church right away. So you go from scamming, identity theft, buying cars, getting money that way, so now you have a church and you're right back to the scamming. You have not really stopped your scamming. What he did this time was he convinced a parishioner, one of his church members, a lady that was recovering from surgery, 56 years old. He convinced her that he could help her buy a home. So what she did was withdraw 90 grand from a retirement account and gave it to him. Now, of course, he did not help her buy a home. He just went and used the money allegedly to buy some of this jewelry. You see how that goes? To buy some of this jewelry. She asked for the money back. He's like, nope, it's already been invested. It's too late. So her retirement account has been drained for the most part, or has a big chunk taken from it. He spent it. The money's nowhere to be found. That's one charge. The second charge is a confusing one, because what he did was he extorted somebody for like $5,000, $5,000, 5,000. And then he was still able to continue on with this guy and get money from him. He got $500,000 the next time, because the promise was, you know what? I can get you favorable connections with city leaders and I could do things for you that way. I can help you advance your business because I have good connections in the city. Now, he's probably leveraging his friendship with Eric Adams. This guy is Eric Adams' friend from Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn. So is Eric Adams. And that's just what it is. Let me see if I can find their picture right quick. Oh, and by the way, remember the subway shooter? Hold on. Okay. I'll get to that in a minute. Let's look at the picture right quick of Lamor Whitehead and Eric Adams. So that's the scammer right there on the left-hand side with the nice frames on. Very nice frames. Even when he's dressed down, he's dressed up. You understand? And that's your man right there, Eric Adams. This is when he is the borough president of Brooklyn. Okay? That's his Brooklyn homie. So he's leveraging that friendship to say, you know what? I got friends in high places. I'm able to get you X, Y, and Z. Give me the $500,000, $500,000, and I'll be able to finagle that to make it work for you. So you're able to get more business so you can make more and more and more money. Never materialize. What do you do? Probably go out and buy some more Gucci suits, some more stunner shades, some more bracelets, watches, the whole 9 yards. That's what he did with the money, allegedly. Now, also, to get back to the whole subway shooter, let's look at this right quick, because that was something else. Hold on. What was it? Eric Adams? Yeah. So remember if you're in New York, or remember that story I did about this, the Q train shooter. So the Q train shooter was some young black guy, right? And he might have been part of like some kind of Islamic type group. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if the shooting was based on any kind of Islamic thing. I think it might have been some kind of like Nation of Islam type thing, or I don't know. He had some kind of name, some kind of different name. Let me see if I can find the person's name. Hold on, let me see right here. Okay. Nah, I don't really see the name. That's your man Eric Adams again. But Eric Adams knows the shooter's family, okay? So they were trying to find the shooter. Eric Adams knew where he was, so he was trying to broker a deal with the mayor and New York and NYPD to have the guys surrender. But what the Bling Bishop wanted to do was make it be a big public thing with media everywhere. So he was able to take credit. It's like, okay, I brought this guy to you. I brought him to justice. You know who did that? I did that. The Bling pastor, Lamor Whitehead, I did that. But what wound up happening was when the boy like turned himself in or whatever he did. No, I think he was going somewhere to some place he had to go to before he turned himself in. And the police got took off. He'd be right there. So the police grabbed him right there. So there couldn't be this whole big charade, this whole big thing where the pastor got credit for turning him over. So he was mad about that. This whole thing is crazy. Like, this guy, Lamor Whitehead, needs to go to the penitentiary. Big rocks into little rocks. Please get him out of here. Get him out of here immediately, for sure. So yeah, that's your man, Lamor Whitehead. We'll see if he stays in prison this time. He did 5 years the first time. What will it be this time? I think it's going to be some federal action going on. So I don't believe NYPD can interfere with this one. But who knows? The feds got their own prerogative as well. Like I was watching Fox a little while ago, and they had Brandon Strzok on there. Brandon Strzok, you might know who that is. Brandon Strzok, the founder of the Walkaway movement. I'm gonna show him on the screen right quick. So let's show him. So Brandon Strzok, he was speaking at the January 6th thing, but he was outside the Capitol. Never went inside the Capitol. He was always outside. He was recording the video outside while speaking for like 8 minutes. But one FBI agent basically told on him and said that he was inside, inciting the riot, is that and the third. They came to his house dead of night, raided it, took him to jail. He's been fighting for like 2.5 years for this whole legal thing because they said they thought he was there. But he was not there. He was there at January 6th, but he was not inside the Capitol. He did not go inside. So why is he getting arrested? Why is he fighting a legal battle? Because the federales then said, oh, you're the guy. You're Brandon Strzok, leader of the Walkaway movement. Let's get you. And you know what? The thing about it is I kind of figured that on January 6th, there might be some weird stuff going on because I was invited to go to the actual rallies and whatnot that day. I was like, nah, I'm cool. I'm going to stay home. Already knew that it might get weird because with these kind of conservative events, it's just so many people there. You don't know who is who. You don't have, I saw it on a small scale, on a very small scale at conservative events. You'll have bad actors. And if there's an opportunity to create some kind of problem, some kind of issue, some kind of drama, it's going to happen if you get bad actors there. I've seen it firsthand on a small scale. So on the big scale like that, okay, you got the election going on, you got tensions flaring. Already knew it was going to be a bad situation because of bad actors who aren't even conservative. Your Ray Epps of the world. Why is Ray Epps not locked up? He was on camera telling everybody, hey, go that way, go into the Capitol. Why is he not locked up? But Brandon Strzok is when he didn't do any of that. Why are they trying to get Trump locked up when he didn't say anything about storming the Capitol? You said go to the Capitol, but not storm the Capitol. It's a different thing. If I tell you to go to Burger King, did I say go to Burger King and tear the register up and knock off all the cups off the table? Did I say do that? No, I didn't. But if you go there and do that, is that my fault? I said go to Burger King, not go and destroy Burger King. It's two different things. But because the media want to spin it a certain way, then that's how they're going to spin it. That's how guys are going to get in trouble. That's how Brandon Strzok got in trouble by the federales and whatnot. So my whole point behind all that was to say this. Lamor Whitehead may get some time in the penitentiary because the federales are involved, or he may not. It depends on how they feel. And I'm not necessarily trying to bash all feds, but time and time again, I'm presented with evidence that lets me know we need a smaller government, smaller federal law enforcement. It's just too much stuff going on that they really shouldn't be involved in, for sure. So yeah, shout out to everybody that was in J6 that didn't do anything wrong. They all need to come home. It's a whole big mess out there. Now, there's more I want to get into. Let's go ahead and get into Zelensky. Let's please do that right now. I want to get into it right now. And if you enjoy what you're hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But your man, what's his name? Volodymyr Zelensky. This guy was just at the White House giving the speech. His accent is very weird. I don't know. I'm not a Ukrainian, obviously. Maybe you guys couldn't tell. Maybe you guys just didn't know, right? Maybe it's my accent that you guys didn't know that I was not Ukrainian, but whatever, right? I'm no Ukrainian, but I think I've heard a Ukrainian accent here and there. It's like a Russian accent. I don't know how this guy sounds. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm nitpicking because I don't like this guy, but different story, I digress. There's a lot I want to say here. First of all, the way that he presents himself, if you are a head of state and you are asking, not only asking, but receiving billions in aid from another state, and you go to that state to speak, I need you to put on the suit. I don't care. People talking about, oh, that's not really a big deal, ABL, so what? It matters because not wearing the suit to the White House when you asking for so much money and getting so much money to defend your country, not our country, but your country, is no respect. It's a slap in the face. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna come get some more money from you, taxpayer. And guess what? I show up in my underwear. How about that? I show up in my drawers and still get $45 billion. That's what it feels like to me. I don't want to give him any kind of money. I don't want to cut Ukraine any check. But at least if you're going to take the money, at least present yourself well. I don't like this guy, how he presents himself, because first of all, aside from the whole thing about respect, I know it's an act. I know you're not on the front lines fighting. I know you're not doing that. So why even play like that? Don't act like, oh, well, you know what? I got to wear this because I'm on the front lines. I'm battling. I'm fighting. No, you're not, sir. Let's stop playing games. Let's stop playing games. So when you come to the White House like this, like, what is this? A sweatshirt? I mean, come on, man. Really? Like, that right there, it really grinds my gears. It might be a small thing to some, but to me, it's a symbol of no respect. I'm going to just get whatever I want from your country and just take it. I hate it. I hate it so much. But I digress. I promise. So he went before Congress and spoke. And let's look at how excited Congress was to receive him. Let's check it out. We got videos on deck, of course. It'll be on my Twitter page as well. At least it should be. Let's check it out. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see what's going on. It's a funny caption. ALX says, Congress seems really excited to see some high school basketball coach. Anyone know who he is? Let's check it out.
And there he is. Yes, that was President Zelensky dressed in his traditional fatigues.
Traditional fatigues, huh? I'm getting triggered.
What we see him wearing when we see him appearing on television frequently from Ukraine. There he is. You can see a number of members of Congress. Again, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, the Republican leader Mitch McConnell. They're seated on opposite sides of the aisle. And as we say, you can't stress enough, it's one of the rare moments when the two sides are in some agreement. So here he is. He's greeting Vice President Kamala Harris and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. So, and receiving what is clearly a warm welcome from both sides of the aisle in the House. And again, they're in the House chamber. These are House members, but also members of the Senate.
Terrible, terrible, terrible. And you know what? I got a lot to say about this. I was watching Fox before this, right? And I saw Trey Gowdy. I promise, I ain't making it up. I saw Trey Gowdy and Lee Zeldin talking about, well, there are some Republicans who don't believe in giving money to Ukraine, but they're just on the wrong side of history. And I'm pretty sure I heard Lee Zeldin say that we should support Ukraine because they're fighting our enemies for us. So did he admit on TV that we're fighting a proxy war? That's what that is. If we're supporting Ukraine because they're fighting our quote unquote enemies for us, that means that we are engaged in the proxy war. It's simple. We're giving them money to fight Russia, so we don't fight them directly. It's quite simple. And then also, Joe Biden, I give him a lot of hard time, a lot of grief. I say a lot of things about Joe Biden that are pretty disparaging. I don't say anything that's false, in my opinion. I don't think I lie about Joe Biden. I may say things in a very harsh way, but I don't lie. Now, the thing about Joe is that they asked him about like certain weapons that Ukraine may want. Weapons that could kind of go into Ukrainian territory. I was watching Fox, and it might have been Lee Zeldin again, or it might have been Trey Gotti talking about, oh, well, Joe Biden was talking about if we give you certain weapons, it'll cause World War III. It shouldn't be thought about that way. We got to give them the weapons. I'm like, wait a minute. Lee Zeldin, Trey Gotti, anybody on the right, anybody on the left, if you think that it's okay to give Ukraine weapons that can actually go into Russia and strike them directly without thinking it's going to hurt us, you're a fool. The reason why we don't give them those kind of weapons is because it's going to hurt us. We don't want to have Russia attack the U.S. Really, we shouldn't be giving them money at all. I think, you know what? I'm going to say a hot take, and if you don't like it, I understand. I'm not for anybody getting hurt. I'm not for anybody getting injured. I'm not for anybody innocent being victimized. But if Russia wants Ukraine, why is that my problem? Why is that our problem if Russia wants Ukraine? Why? And I don't want to hear anything about, oh, well, innocent people. I don't want to hear that part. Because if they want Ukraine, they don't want to continue to bomb Ukraine. What's the point of taking the country and continuing to kill the people? No make no sense. If they want Ukraine, why not stay out the way? How can preventing Russia from taking Ukraine help us in America? Again, if anybody gets hurt, injured, I'm against that totally. I'm against war, period. But if they want Ukraine, why are we getting in the way? We're prolonging the war by giving Ukraine any kind of munitions. By giving them aid, we're prolonging the war. Without us, it would already been over with. Therefore, no more fighting. So what are we doing? What's the purpose? You tell me. Oh, ABL, if we don't stop Russia taking Ukraine, they're going to take Poland. Be for real. Guess who hit Poland with a missile? It wasn't Russia. It was Ukraine. When they thought Russia hit Poland with a missile, it was on. We're going to go to Russia. We're going to take Vladimir Putin. But then when we found out it was a Ukrainian missile that landed in Poland by accident, then it was crickets. I don't want to hear a word. They're not going to take no Poland for what? Why? But anyway, I'll move right along. They're the same people. Exactly. They're the exact same people. Ukrainians, Russians. I don't want to hear a word. Same people. So why is that our prerogative to help them? For what? Why? All right, let's keep on going here. I got more videos to show. I got to find that Joe Biden clip where he's talking about World War III. I got to find that one. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see. Hold on. Well, it might be something about the weapons. Yeah. Because that was a pretty important clip. That was pretty important. And there's more here. All right, let's check it out.
The attack on innocent Ukrainian people for no reason other than intimidate. And he's escalated his assault on civilians after hitting schools, orphanages, hospitals, landmarks. He's trying to use winter as a weapon. And but the Ukrainian people continue to inspire the world. I mean that sincerely. Not just inspire.
Is that a Ukrainian tie? Is that the blue and yellow he has on? Joe Biden, that is. Is that what I'm seeing, or am I tripping? Am I not seeing things correctly here?
Us, but inspire the world with their courage and how they.
All right, there's more.
Laws for military merit. That is one.
Oh, God love you.
Yes.
So Zelensky gave Biden a letter from the Ukrainian defender named Pavlo, who is fighting in Bakhmut now. Pavlo, as a Ukrainian president to give Joe Biden the medal he was awarded for heroism as a gift of appreciation for the weapons that the American people gave to the Ukrainians. Is this a Ghost of Kiev thing again? Who is this guy, Pavlo? Ghost of Kiev Part 2? What's going on here?
That is from him, and I have the list. He wrote the list. Yes. I didn't read, Mr. President. I can't read. It's not it's in Ukrainian language, but here the translation. It's from him.
And his name is, I have his name, I could contact him?
Yes.
A mess, a total mess. Let me see if I can find more from. Oh, here's one about the weapons. Let's play that right quick. So this is like an earlier talk. So when Zelensky came, he spoke with Biden like side by side, and then he spoke at a speech by himself, and the crowd was going crazy. It was like it was President Trump speaking back in 2017. It was nuts. It was nuts.
Сказати, що можна дати Україні усі боєздатності для того, щоб нас.
And the person is asking, is it possible to give Ukraine all the weapons so that it frees all its territories?
Звільнила всі свої території. Дякую.
His answer is yes.
Його відповідь так.
So Biden's not answering directly. He's saying that Zelensky wants the weapons, but Biden's not saying, yes, he will give you the weapons, because he understands if he gives the weapons, now we got a problem with Russia directly trying to fight the U.S. rather than the Russians beating up on Ukraine for the U.S. or really it's Russians fighting Ukrainians and Ukrainians fighting back for the U.S. Put it to you that way. That's what's going on here. Not only the U.S., but also NATO and the European Union.
I agree.
Is it a laughing matter? Is that what we're doing? We got time for comedy hour? We're going back to your comedic roots, to your acting roots, Zelensky? Is that what we're doing? Huh? A mess. Now, do I have more? Of course I have more. Let's go ahead and keep rolling here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. And let's find that here. Yeah, that speech, it was crazy. Did you guys see the speech live? I just happened to catch it. I was trying to, get back healed to get myself together, and then I just happened to see the speech. It was something else. The main thing about the speech, it's not a very good speech in my opinion, but the main thing about the speech was the reaction from the crowd. That was the main thing. Oh, and here's a picture that you guys got to see. Here's a picture you guys got to see, and this is going to kind of irritate you. Look at this here. So what you see right here is Zelensky at the podium in his green sweatshirt, speaking before Congress into the microphone. And behind him, there's a Ukrainian flag, right, held by Kamala Harris and Nancy Pelosi. And on the bottom half of it, where it's yellow, there appears to be signature, like a yearbook signatures. So is that what we're doing? This is nuts. I mean, I don't know what's going on here in America. It's weird because, I see one thing on the news, like from left and right on the news. Ukraine, we love Ukraine, we support Ukraine no matter what. Oh, there was one thing that somebody said. One thing that somebody said that really it really rubbed me the wrong way. It was Mitch McConnell. Have you guys seen Mitch McConnell said about Ukraine? I got to find that one. I got to find that one. That picture, I know you don't want to see that anymore. I took it off the screen. Yeah, okay, it's gone now. It's totally gone now. But I got to show you guys what Mitch McConnell said about Ukraine, about how important they are, about their status on the priority list of Americans or of Republicans. Let's find it right quick. Oh, I gotta get to this one. Y'all got to bear with me when I find it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Check it out. This is Mitch McConnell, GOP, big dog. Listen to what he's saying.
Making sure the Defense Department can deal with the major threats coming from Russia and China, providing assistance for the Ukrainians to defeat the Russians. That's the number one priority for the United States right now.
What?
According to most Republicans. That's sort of how we...
Wait a minute. Did you guys hear that? Let's rewind. I mean, because that might have kind of slipped past your ears. That might have kind of just evaded your ear space a little bit. You might not have caught that one, but let's rewind so we can hear it clearly. One more time. Let's go.
Making sure the Defense Department can deal with the major threats coming from Russia and China, providing assistance for the Ukrainians to defeat the Russians. That's the number one priority for the United States right now, according to most Republicans. That's sort of how we see the challenges confronting the country at the moment.
So, providing defense for Ukraine, that's the number one priority of Americans right now, according to most Republicans. According to Mr. McConnell, he's saying most Republicans, according to him, think that Ukraine is the biggest problem, the biggest issue that we face as Americans right now. So the fentanyl crisis, that's just nothing. Okay, 100,000 Americans, 200,000 Americans dead because of fentanyl, the border being wide open, inflation, high crime, low morale in the police and fire and everything else. Those things kind of rank below helping Ukraine. I mean, when you hear that, how do you feel? I'm kind of bewildered. I'm kind of flabbergasted, shocked. But should I be shocked? I don't know if I should be shocked. Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe that's me just trying to be, how can I say? Maybe I'm just trying to be more hopeful, more optimistic about the future, about the GOP and where we stand, about Mitch McConnell, maybe. I mean, I don't know what's going on. That right there was absolutely nuts. Zelensky wearing this T-shirt and basketball sweatpants to speak for Congress is one thing. That's bad enough. But Mitch McConnell saying Ukraine is the number one concern of Americans, I mean, that is wild. Where does Ukraine rank on your current list of important things that's facing you? It shouldn't be that high. Maybe it is. Maybe you're Ukrainian. Maybe you have a soft spot in your heart. Maybe you want to see world peace. Maybe you don't like Russian Federation. Maybe you love Ukrainian food. I'm not sure what they eat over there. Do they eat bratwurst or whatever? I don't know what they got going on in Ukraine. What kind of food do you eat from Ukraine? Have you ever said, you know what? I'm going to go to a Ukrainian food spot and get me a nice big Ukrainian dish. Have you ever said that? But anyway, where does Ukraine rank on your list of important things going on in your life right now? If it doesn't rank high, why does it rank high on the list of your senators, your House reps, your president? Aren't they your employees? You pay them out of your money to represent you in Congress and in the White House and everywhere else. You voted for them. You voted for them, and they say, you know what? I know what's going on right now in America. We got fentanyl going crazy, crime going crazy. Okay, the inflation, you can't buy a box of eggs and everything else. But you know what's really important? Vladimir Zelensky, Ukraine, Russia. That's the most important thing. Mitch McConnell, what kind of crack are you smoking? Anyway, I'm getting triggered, so I digress. Last on the list, save the borders. What's in Ukraine? -0. They eat boiled spleen. But don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to say I hate Ukrainian people. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to attack Ukrainian people. I'm just saying the political stuff going on right now is ridiculous. The political stuff, the brainwashing, the media buying into it is absolutely insane. It reminds me of Black Lives Matter, but on a bigger scale. I mean, I don't think we funded Black Lives Matter to the tune of $100 billion. I mean, we gave them $10 billion from ridiculous morons that just donated to them by accident, on purpose or whatever. But we didn't gunpoint steal tax money or print and spend money to create further inflation to give to a foreign country to help them fight their war, which Lee Zeldin said was to fight against our own enemies, which is a proxy war. By definition, if we're funding Ukraine to fight our enemies for us, so we don't fight them directly, it's called a proxy war. And I've been saying that. Why would you be in favor of a proxy war? For what? Why? If you don't want to fight Russia directly, why fight them indirectly? What's the big deal? What are we trying to accomplish? What point are we trying to prove? Or is it about trying to get that money from Ukraine? Because we know you say you're talking about grifting. You know, people accuse me, hey, ABL, you know what? You're a black conservative. You're a big grifter. You want to get that white money. I'm like, look, man, I'm just being myself. This is me every day, all day. If you know me, you know this is just me, how I am. I'm not an actor like Zelensky was. Actual paid actor on TV with a comedy show and the whole 9 yards, doing Beyonce dance routines. I'm no actor like he is. I'm gonna calm down. I'm getting excited. I am no actor. I am no grifter. But you know who is an actor? Zelensky. Who is a grifter? Congress. Democrats, Republicans, people getting money from Ukraine, people funneling money, insider trading. That's the grifters. Getting billions of dollars. Crazy. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. So did you guys see Zelensky's speech? Did you enjoy his speech? I don't think I really enjoyed the speech too tough. His English is kind of interesting. I just wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed. I didn't like it. It was something else, right? It was really a big crazy mess. All right. Here's a senator talking about his fight is our fight. No, I don't want to play. That's kind of a long clip. All right, but here's Tucker Carlson talking about it. About is it about Zelensky? It might have been tonight. Let's go play this right quick so we can see what's going on from my man Tucker over on Fox.
Glenn Greenwald is an independent journalist. He joins us tonight with reaction. Glenn, thank you so much for coming on. I mean, there's so many levels to this. One is just the human level, where the gall of this guy to come in, demand money, pretend it's not charity, and no one watching explains what the point of the money is. What is the goal here? Do you know?
Oh, yeah, he also said that because Zelensky during his speech said, this money is not charity. The money is not charity. It's like, well, if it ain't charity, then what is it? Well, we know what it is now because Lee Zeldin said it. I'll never forget. I'm going to find that clip from Lee Zeldin to put up as a short probably. He said, we're giving them money because they're fighting our enemies for us. A proxy war by definition. Point blank. Full stop. But let's continue.
I don't
either. I know that I've been asking since February, in what conceivable way will the lives of American citizens be materially improved? How will you or your family's lives be protected or fostered by sending tens of billions of dollars, now in excess of $100 billion, to the war in Ukraine, except for the tiny number of people who own huge amounts of stock in the weapons manufacturers who have done extremely well from this war? How have Americans benefited in any way? And the amazing thing, Tucker, is that you will never even hear any of these people, Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer, Nancy, all of whom are in complete agreement on this, the leadership of both parties, even pretend that they have an answer to that question, because they don't. This week, millions of our own citizens, American citizens, are set to lose their Medicaid coverage, their health coverage when they and their kids get sick, because we can't find $1.7 billion to extend it. And yet we're about to send another $44.5 billion to fund this war in Ukraine. And Mitch McConnell says the number one goal of the Republican Party is to treat Russia as an enemy. Donald Trump won the primary in 2016 and 2020 based on the argument that Russia is not our enemy and we have no reason to treat it as such. So the entire question that needs to be asked is, who is this really benefiting? And the answer is everyone except the American people.
Wow. That was very well done, Mr. Glenn Greenwald. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. That was very well done, man. You need to get some kind of a award, promotion, praise, whatever. That was very well done. That was exactly my sentiment. And I'm hearing that sentiment. I'm seeing that sentiment a lot. That's generally, if you're kind of invested into politics and you're not in politics, you understand? Like if you are a guy like me or you or anybody else who understands what's happening, but you're not actually in DC, in politics, getting money from the federales, you think the same way. That's what and then they got the spending bill. The spending bill's $1.7 trillion. What is he? $1.7 trillion. And it's all kind of pork in there. It's like 4,200 pages. And okay, it's almost $2 trillion, 4,200 pages, but read that in one day and figure out what's going on. Not only read it, but read it and comprehend it. See, it's one thing to be able to read that much, which would be a monumental feat, even if it was something as simple as 1, 2, buckle my shoe. But then it's written in lawyer speak. Have you ever tried to read something like your cell phone terms and conditions? Like try to read it and make sense of it. Or social media terms and conditions. Try to read that. It's like 2 pages. Try to read that and make it make sense to you. All these words in perpetuity and all kind of crazy stuff. And you got to read language like that for 4,200 pages in one day. It's not possible. It's not possible. It's just, I mean, all kind of pork in there. You got stuff for LGBT and money for a wax museum in Baltimore. Dumb stuff. Why does Baltimore need $1 million for a wax museum? What's that going to do for anything in Baltimore? Like, okay, we got fentanyl going on. We got carjacking, kidnapping, armed robbery, homicide, all of that going on in Baltimore. But you know what's really important? A wax museum. That'll really get the crime down. Huh? What? Like, it's just dumb stuff. I feel like a lot of these bills, the pork in there is just from friends of people that are in DC. Hey, you know what? I'm writing the bill. You want anything? It's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to the store. You want something? I'm about to go to Piggly Wiggly. You want something from the store? Yeah, let me get a bottle of orange juice and some cookies. All right, bet I got you. And you come back with the whole thing, and you ask everybody in the whole apartment complex in your neighborhood what they want from the store. You go to the store and buy it. You give the bill to the federales. Hey, man, pay for that. Don't read what I got. I got all types of stuff from Wally World and Target and Amazon. Don't worry about what's on the actual bill. Just pay it. That's what's happening right now with the omnibus spending bill. $1.7 trillion. And where's money coming from? You're going to print that. Oh, but isn't the printing of the money what got us into the problem right now with the inflation? Don't worry about that. We're going to print the money. It'll be fine. But you know what I was told as a kid? When I asked my mom, I was like, Mom, look, I know we could print money, right? Because I know I go to school, and then I learned about the printing press, the Federal Reserve. I learned about that. I was like, Mom, look, we can print the money. So if people are broke and don't have any money, why can't you just print more money so everybody has it? You could print it, right? That was my mind at 8, 9 years old, however old I was, little kid. She was like, son, if they keep printing the money, it'll be worth less than what it is right now. It won't make a difference. You're just going to devalue the money. I learned that lesson at a very young age. But it's like we got 80-year-old people in Congress who just ignore that and say, you know what? Print it. Print it and spend it. Print it on whatever you want. And you know what? If you get caught committing some kind of fraud with your Venmo, if you get caught on your Venmo or your PayPal getting $700 for braiding some hair, we want that money too. We're going to tax your $700 for braiding somebody's hair. Like, if you got that much money from one transaction, you might have been braiding hair and clipping toenails and whatnot. Okay, we're going to tax that $700. But we can print trillions of dollars, make a bill where we get a piece of it, put it into our own pocket, insider trade, but we're going to send you to jail for what you did for $700. So you got to understand, this is the reason why people are kind of like anti-government, anti-federal government especially, because they see things like that and they're like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I digress. Money laundering, that's exactly what it is. TJ Jizzle, 100% correct. Absolutely. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Speaking about crime and violence and whatnot being ignored by people who say, you know what number one issue is right now in the country? Helping Ukraine. That's the number one issue we got going on right now. Nobody says why. Nobody really says why helping Ukraine is really important to Americans. I'm not saying it's not important to somebody over there. Maybe to Russia, it's important to have Ukraine. Maybe to Ukraine, it's important to have their freedom and sovereignty, maybe. But how is it important to the United States? There's all kind of conflict going on all over the world right now. There's conflict happening right now in parts of Asia. China's going through some stuff right now. If you ask me, I think China is having some kind of civil war going on. Well, not civil war, but they could be on the brink of that because of all these policies with the virus. They could be on the brink of that, but are we trying to help them? No. We're trying to help Ukraine because they're fighting Russia for us, like Lee Zeldin said. I'm going to keep going back to that because that was a crazy admission. But anyway, speaking of not helping crime and violence and focusing on Ukraine, there was a video that went viral in Atlanta, and I might not be able to play it because there's a lot of cussing and stuff going on. I'll play some of it. If you got little babies in the room, just, be mindful. It's some language being thrown around. But basically what happened was a white officer in Atlanta was basically prevented from being at a crime scene, an active crime scene, because he's white. And this is in Atlanta, of course. Everybody's black. I'm not sure when this video was taken. It could have been recently. It might not have been because people around have like Black Lives Matter, I Can't Breathe shirts on. So you already know what time it is with that. It could have been the BLM riot back a few years ago. It could have been something recently. I don't really know. People have on shorts and short sleeve shirts. So it probably wasn't like yesterday, but it didn't really matter. The whole point is that this happened. Oh, and then the context, if you didn't know, there was a shooting that happened in this area. The police get called, they show up, and there's one white cop who was not welcomed by the crowd. It's a big crowd out there. And I don't understand. It's like, all right, if a shooting happens, why are you all like just hanging around like ain't nothing going on? If, let's say, for example, I'm at a club, which I don't do. I'm not that kind of person. But if I'm at a club and then the club gets shot up, I'm leaving. If I got my car or if you got a car and you're leaving, I'm riding with you. Where we going? Come on, let's go. Wherever we going, it doesn't really matter. We can go north, south, east, west. Let's just get out of here. Because I don't want to have somebody else come up and start to shoot in retaliation, or the guy that shot come back and continue to shoot. Let's go ahead and go. So I don't understand why it was a big shooting, but at the same time, a big crowd outside. I don't get it. So there's an ambulance right there because, again, somebody got shot. We're at a gas station, which I've said it before, and I'll say it one more time. If you go to Atlanta for some reason and you decide to get gas, I would advise you not get gas inside the city, inside the perimeter, what we call it. So when you go to Atlanta, you can, like, let's say you're coming from the north, from like Tennessee somewhere, and you're coming down 75. Once you get to 285 perimeter, inside that perimeter of 285, the interstate, that is where you kind of want to avoid if you are trying to get gas at night. You see what I'm saying? You want to stop in some random place, especially if you're not really like on the main thoroughfares. If you're not right in the really popular area, especially, let's say you're off on the east side somewhere, don't do it. Do not go to a gas station because you can lose your life. If you go to the gas station, you see a bunch of guys hanging out at the gas station at night, just go somewhere else. Okay? And matter of fact, you probably be better off get on the interstate and just stall on out and wait for a cop to come get you. So here's what's going on. You see the black cop right there, right? Right to the right of this still frame. Here's the white cop right next to him on the left, obviously. And the crowd are pushing back on the white cop, not necessarily physically, but they're trying to say, get out of here because you're white.
What? Hey, get off the block! Go! He wanna know what he looks like! He looks like you! It ain't him. Let him through. Let's go!
Here we're saying no white cops. Now, here's what's going on, though. They're saying no white cops, get out of here, all this, that, and the third. But see what happens if you don't have cops that show up, because what's going on right now in Atlanta is if you call for an emergency, you might not have the cops show up at all. Then that's a problem. I was hearing about that when I was a kid. Oh, you call the police, they don't show up. What's the point of showing up when you get treated like this, when you told not to be there? If you tell me, hey, don't be here, you're not welcome here, get out, white cop, and it becomes dangerous, you got a whole mob on you. Well, you know what? How about I just don't show up? How about that? I'll turn my radio off. 10:32. I don't hear nothing. I'm Helen Keller. I don't see a thing. I don't hear a thing. What's going on? I don't hear a word. Okay, I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna go Alpharetta and hang out, eat donuts. I'm not gonna be down here on the east side, filling them with y'all heathens, trying to find whoever the shooter was, trying to revive a shooting victim and stop him from dying and bleeding out on the ground. Like, y'all just milling around with your cell phone trying to film me and attack me. How about I don't show up? Okay. How about your man that gets shot and how about your man that gets shot? He just died right there on the street. How about that? Oh, that's racist, ABL. Well, they don't want him, so why should he show up? If you say to the cop, don't show up because you white, don't be surprised when the cop don't show up, or when they're short-staffed, or when it take forever. You call them, somebody that got shot, and they don't come, or they come a half hour later. That's your fault. That's happening right now in Atlanta. So that's their fault for that. And I don't feel any kind of sympathy for them if they did it. I feel bad for the regular normies who don't act like this, who legitimately need the police, who respect the police, who want the police, who just happen to be in this area where these people don't want, don't respect, don't like, not going to tell, not going to cooperate. It's a whole big mess. Hey, wait, what somebody say? Jacob 2A guy says, tell him to call a crackhead ABL. Yeah, shout out to my man, what's a man named Kennedy down in Louisiana. Shout out to him for that one.
Face out of here. Yo, Con, just shut this shit up.
Now, some are going to say, why did he leave, ABL? Like, why is he allowing himself to be forced out by these people? Well, what are you going to do? I mean, you're overwhelmed. It's a crowd of people. Your presence making it worse. Just go ahead and bounce. And like I said, when you're short-staffed, don't have enough cops to be there, then you just don't show up. Forget it.
Let him get in your car.
So yeah, this whole thing, I wouldn't even, if I was a white cop, I'll just be like, forget it. You know what? And that's why we need like a buckhead police. That cop right there, if he's in APD and he keeps going to east side, west side, disrespected, not they're attacking him, get out of here, white cop. If he's in APD right now, what he'd do is when they create Buckhead City, he'll go work for Buckhead City in their police department and he'll be totally fine. Or he'll go up Alpharetta, Roswell, Ashford, Dunwoody, somewhere like that and be chilling rather than dealing with the east side, west side, south side miscreants. All right. So yeah, that whole thing was crazy. They got him out of the way just because he was white. It's racist. And you know, if it was the other way around, if it was a bunch of white guys out there and girls talking about black cop, get out of here, black cop. Oh man, they'd be skinheads, Klan members or whatever, but because it's the other way around, it's totally fine. It's not fine to me, but it's fine to some people. It's fine to many, and it shouldn't be. Racism is racism regardless of who does it. And if it's bad to be a racist, it's bad to be a racist at any time. It doesn't matter who is racist or who is the offended when it comes to racism. So if you are a victim of it, it doesn't matter who you are, what your race is. And if you are the person doing the offending, it doesn't matter who you are. It's all the same thing. If we're going to be non-racist, it can't be special privileges for certain groups of people. I don't care if you are from over there, you got the little hat on. I don't care if you black, white, whatever. It's all the same, in my opinion. No special privilege to anybody. Everybody's on the same level. If you're going to be equal, everybody's on the same level. I don't care. Period. Yeah, but the black cops can't do much. Blue Graphine, the black cops can't do much because they're overwhelmed too. They're in the crowd of people. They can't really do too much. So they got to just kind of, unfortunately, roll with it. But I know I'm a little bit late starting the show, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap the topics up and then get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. I'll try to be here a little bit later. I'm feeling pretty good right now. And if you don't know, I was late to the show today because I was feeling kind of sick earlier, but I'm feeling rejuvenated. I got a whole brand new body. I'm good now. So I might stay a little bit later tonight for you guys for being late. I apologize for that. And I will be doing the show come hell or high water on Saturday. I'm supposed to be traveling, but the travel's going to be kind of weird because of the storm coming. So we'll see what happens. But regardless of what, I'll be doing the show. If I got power, if I got the internet, I'll be here. I mean, I don't care what's going on. If I got to fight a bear, a couple of dogs, we're going to do it. But anyway, super chats on that. I'm going to get to these right quick. Thank you guys for supporting the show. You know I couldn't do it without you guys. And if you like what you're hearing so far tonight, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Thank you to Alien Spaceship Sound Effects, who says Georgia Peach hasn't been in chat because she's been dealing with her mother. Okay, I ain't going to put too much out there, but yeah, pray for Georgia Peach's mother. Yeah, shout out to her. Thank you to Michael Critchlow, who says breaking, Carolyn Ellison, Gary Wang pled guilty to federal charges in FTX scheme, cooperating with prosecutors. So, okay, Carolyn Ellison, that was is the ex-girlfriend of what's her man's name? Sam Bankman-Fried, SBF. And for a little bit of a reminder, let's go ahead and show you a picture of Miss Ellison. You know, so you know exactly who she is when you see her. Let's go ahead and put it on the screen right quick. So you see your man right there on the left, that's SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried. On the right, that is Carolyn Ellison. She was the CEO of Alameda Research. That was the hedge fund that I guess you would say washed a lot of money that was supposed to go to FTX. Sam Bankman-Fried kind of snitched on her, talking about, oh, well, we didn't have bank accounts at first over at FTX. So if you wanted to send money to FTX, you would wire it to Alameda Research. Is that proper? I'm not really sure what's going on with that. It seems kind of improper, but I digress. So they're going to tell on each other. You know what? I was talking about that in the previous video about the whole snitching thing. All these criminals, well, I'm not going to say all, not all, but most of these criminals will snitch. And what I mean by that is, to define what snitching is, if you, not you guys are law-abiding citizens, perfect angels. Same for me. I never done anything wrong. But anyway, if you are involved in crime, you get arrested, you get locked up, and you decide to tell on somebody that also committed crime that you are involved with to get a lesser sentence or to get released, that's snitching. If you're a normie and somebody broke in your house, stole your car, they're shooting outside, they shot somebody you know, and you know who did it, and you tell that's not snitching. You're a regular person. You're being a responsible, brave citizen for coming forward and helping to get somebody locked up and off the streets. That's not snitching. If you are involved in crime and you tell on a fellow crime, fellow criminal to get a light sentence or get off, you're a snitch. But if you're a criminal, you're already doing wrong anyway. You're not honorable necessarily. If you're a criminal, if you're stealing money from people, if you're stealing billions from people and buying real estate and lavish lifestyles and vacations and private planes and all this and that. If you're doing that, you're not honorable anyway. You are a scumbag. So it's no surprise that a scumbag will also snitch on somebody that they were friends with, family with, or whatever, while doing the same crime to get a light sentence. It's no surprise. So she will probably tell, they're all probably telling each other because that's what criminals do. Okay, I'm going down, I'm telling you to go to lighten my fall. That's how that works. But again, if you're a regular normie and a person does something and you're not a criminal, you're just a regular person, that's not snitching. That's just being responsible, as you should. Okay, thank you to Noel Garcia, who says Zelensky the first to close $1 billion deal in some joggers. Exactly. My man had on a sweatsuit getting billions of dollars. I mean, you guys may not necessarily think it's a big deal that the guy had on the sweatsuit, that he had on some Old Navy sweatshirt. You know what I mean? Like he was just wearing, he got out of the bed in the morning and put on his pajamas to go get some money. May not be a big deal to you, but it is me because it's a lack of respect for this country and for us. It's your taxpayer money that he's taking. You could at least go to Jose Bank Men's Warehouse, go to Burlington Coat Factory, get a rack suit, let some Asian lady hem it up for you right quick, and then go to the White House. I remember when I went to the White House. I'm gonna just kind of digress right here. Back, it might have been 2019, 2020. There were a bunch of kids that went to the White House with us, and with I think it might have been Turning Point and Blexit, or Blexit and Turning Point, whatever it was. I know Candace was involved. I think Charlie Kirk was involved. Brandon Tatum was involved. A lot of kids were there, like not like little kids, but like young people, 18, 19, 20. A lot of them didn't have suits, didn't have ties. So I came with a whole bunch of my ties to give away to people. It's like, look, you're going to the White House, you got to present yourself well. I probably gave out about 4 or 5 ties that day of my own personal stuff, just so you could look good just for the White House. All right. Okay. You need help with your suit. I'll tie your tie for you. I'll help you with you're going to look good going to the White House. Right. So Zelensky says, you know what? F all that. I'm going to come in my sweatpants and I'm going to take taxpayer money from the United States and bring it to Ukraine. Crazy. But again, I'm getting triggered. Thank you to Halibor for Life 2002 says Zelensky and Ukraine is just a huge laundromat for the politicians and the elites. Correct. Thank you to Byron 8899 who says, what's your view on the Stanford University list the word American, quote unquote, as hateful language? They favor the word U.S. citizen from Wall Street Journal or Newsweek. Wow, I've not seen that. Okay. That's crazy. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look that up because that's nuts. Okay, yeah, I see it right here on Newsweek. Thank you for that. That's gonna be a video, and you're getting the credit for it right now. Byron 8899. That gets to S4 who says this Zelensky story is insane. ABL piece up. It really is totally crazy. Matthew Phillips says, Canadian media totally eating up Zelensky's performance. Even Ukrainian refugees thinks it's all BS. Exactly. All Western media going have God for him. Why ABL? Man, you know what? It's just people have been so brainwashed by the media. It's not even funny. And you know what? You know what's really going on? It's like the whole thing with the mask. It's the entire. People were so invested emotionally into the mask thing that people still wear it to this day. Even though they came out and said, the people that came out and said that the mask was mandatory, you needed to wear it, save lives, don't kill grandma. The very same people that said that also say that it doesn't work and it's decoration for your face now. They say that, but it doesn't matter because you've already done enough of the brainwashing for the brainwashing to set hold, you see? So it doesn't even really make a difference. Thank you to Pete Bogg, who says, I digress from the chat. Right, a super chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Bob K. MIT, who says, Velma Dinkley is his girlfriend. Exactly, talking about Carolyn Ellison. Thank you to Teacher Jizzle, who says, please rewind and check out the black female cop taking the cops to the car. She was smiling and laughing while they're nearly spitting in the white cop like he's enjoying their acts. Fire her. Yeah, I mean, I did kind of see some of that. But the whole thing, it's like when you do stuff like that, what you're going to have is a more dangerous area. When you try to like pick and choose who polices you and you're trying to like be all in the cop's face and you're not, the whole attitude of it, not being of assistance, not cooperating, it's a problem. It's a serious problem and they're going to face consequences for that. But I digress. If you enjoy what you're hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Let's get to the calls. I know I'm late, but don't blame me. Blame the white man. And again, I'll probably be here for a little while longer, maybe past 11 for you guys because I was late coming on. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling. The number to call again, 434-658-1220. And we can go ahead and do it that way. Let's make sure that all the stuff is good. And we shall be ready to move. Hold on here. Let me make sure that my sound and everything's all right. 908, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Anthony. It's Debbie from New Jersey.
All righty. What's going on?
How you doing? I haven't spoken to you guys in a while. I just wanted to tell everybody hi. Hi, everybody.
Oh, it's all good over here. About yourself?
Like I'm going to hear him say hi back. You look good, Anthony. You look good. Happy holidays to everybody. I hope everybody's staying safe. But I just want to say this to everybody because I've been going through it. Got some spiritual tap in, some spiritual uplifting, and everybody follow me on Instagram. 26 years of postpartum. I've been doing little posts on my storyline with uplifting things to give people encouragement and enlightenment and to get us out of this darkness. But what I just want to tell everybody, you got to love yourself. You got to learn to love yourself, heal your wounds. Don't be a slave or a prisoner of what hurt you. Just try to mend that and just move on and share your light. You got to train your mind to see the good in everything. And once you can do that, this racism stuff, all this stuff, you're not even going to see it because you're not even going to look at it because it's not even going to affect you because you're going to look at the good in everything. And a lot of this stuff, these people are being paid for. They want to keep us mad, separated, low vibrational. But guess what? They're going to keep doing it until we stand up and tell them, no, we're not taking it anymore. But once we learn to love ourselves and build up our courage, we'll be able to do that. So I just want to tell everybody I love you. Just keep the fight and just think about your children and the future generations because these people got to go. They got to go. All right?
All right.
I love you, Anthony. I love everybody. Good night.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you. All right. Great call. All right, Matt, what's going on?
Anthony, what are you doing?
And it's all good, man. Just enjoying the show.
Good, man. Man, it's funny that all these people coming in the parade hating on Zelensky. Us libertarians have hated this whole thing since the beginning, and I never got so much hate in my life. Feedback from people is when I said this Zelensky's a punk and that we shouldn't be giving him any money. And I actually kind of like Vladimir Putin and the Merchant of Death at this point, to be honest with you.
Yeah, really. I mean, I heard the Merchant of Death speak. His speech was better than Zelensky's, and it wasn't even close. Just if you didn't know who these guys were and you just heard them speak, it was obvious who had the better speech. And that's pretty much what it was. It's pretty much it.
Yeah. And Putin, Obama drew that thin red line on the use of chemical weapons in Aleppo. Ironically, you don't hear about Syria much anymore. But he drew that thin red line and said, if you cross it, well, we're going to put boots on the ground in Syria. And lo and behold, they got crossed. And chemical weapons were used, and they blamed it on Bashir al-Assad. And lo and behold, long after the fact, ISIS used the chemical weapons, and some of the attacks were even faked, using like Alka-Seltzer tablets and you know, as Alex Jones would say, crisis actors.
Mm-hmm.
And Putin went in and convinced Bashar al-Assad to give up his chemical weapons that he didn't use in exchange for sprinkling in all kinds of anti-aircraft defense system in Syria. And Putin averted World War III when Hillary Clinton and John McCain and these warmongers wanted that. I mean, we owe him, as a patriotic favor. I mean, a salute. As one veteran to a dictator, I salute him. I hate to disagree with you on this whole insider trading thing. I think it should be completely legal. I don't believe that the government should be involved in the stock exchange in the least bit unless there's fraud that's going on. And I don't think insider trading is fraud. I think Martha Stewart shouldn't have gone to prison. I think members of Congress should be able to trade whatever they want. And I don't give a damn. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, if it's going to be like that, then it can't also be, it needs to be the same across the board. If you're going to lock Martha Stewart up, then also lock Nancy Pelosi up, or don't lock anybody up. So one way or the other. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think the whole reason why there is insider trading is because it's illegal. If it weren't illegal, it wouldn't happen. Because it's basically it's kind of like a tragedy of the commons situation where there's a lot of people with the New York Stock Exchange where just because their data connection was faster than someone else's, then it was a strategic advantage to these micro trades. So they had to create all these fiber optic loops that
really
basically,
seriously,
yeah, these time delays, because the speed of light travels at different speeds, and it will go to one building sooner than it goes to another building. And they've got these supercomputers connected from one or the other. So I believe fairness should be the object of the stock exchange, not some rule that the SEC, sets in place. And because insider trading is illegal, it's made it tongue in cheek. So hence only the best people do it and get away with it. But the moment that a lay trader, some retail investor, got some whiff that there was some insider trading going on, and they beat on the stock exchange's doors instead of the SEC doors, then the whole thing would stop and it would be over.
Interesting.
And don't buy Bitcoin. I've said this a bunch of times on this channel. I predicted the crash on your show. Stay away from it. I haven't heard from people in years. And then when this Bankman-Fried and that freak girlfriend of his ended up stealing all these people's money, I got calls out of the woodworks. Oh, you libertarians, yeah, your currency of the future is just BS. And I'm just like, and they want regulation for it. I'm like, don't regulate it. Let it fail. Failure is the type of regulation that has to happen for that stuff. The moment that you go in and try to regulate this stuff, again, you're making these tragedy of the commons kind of situations where people aren't screaming for regulation when they were getting 10x returns. They're screaming for regulation now that they're getting wiped out. And I say, you morons bought that stuff, and that's on you. Go buy some gold and silver and save your dollars right now. Every dollar you can save for the moment. But that's all I got for you, man.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, be good.
All right, great call from Matt. Thank you all for being here yet again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. You guys are the best audience in this space. 773, you don't know who I'm speaking to.
Hey, Dale. First off, happy holidays to you.
Oh, same to you, man.
Hey, Dale. Are you not only paying attention to Twitter files as well as the FBI and now these ridiculous spending bills that DC wants to do right now in support of Ukraine while we're starving at home and prices are going up?
Yeah, I'm watching everything. I've seen the Twitter files, and I've seen the whole thing with the spending bill. I've seen it all.
Yeah, I think things coming to a point where everybody who calls themselves conservative or an American patriot needs to kind of make a stand against this, because this is actually madness. And at some point we need to kind of hold all of our politicians responsible, because there's too many people selling us out to the Democrat establishment in D.C. And as far as I see it, I actually have some choice words Zelensky for just showing his face here begging for more money. And the only 12 days of Christmas he's going to get is this from me, delivery from Uncle Sam.
Oh, right on. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And if you've seen Dr. Common Sense's videos that I've told you about before, not only about the Twitter files as well as propaganda, and about what does JFK, Reagan, and Trump have, they all were hated by the FBI. But I won't go into too much detail about those theories. But if you ever read the JFK files, you would know what I'm hinting at.
Right on.
Yeah, have you ever read them before?
No.
Neither have I. Anyway, this two disturbing news stories that are happening in the South. North Carolina is now saying that voter IDs for Black people is somehow racist, and in Virginia, because the Black mayor in Richmond is now digging up the bodies of dead Confederates, A.B. Hill specifically, just because of the BLM people don't like the Confederate statues.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, it's really not necessary to do. It's not going to help anything. I mean, Richmond has other issues to do with, aside from digging up dead people. I mean, you got a crime issue right now. So that's probably more pressing than, like I said, digging up dead people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I really think we could should actually kind of play their game back at them. See how they want to replace history with their figures just so they can feel, quote, empowering. Maybe as a little bit of a joke to kind of remove one of their figures and kind of show the utter hypocrisy about it, because what a lot of those Black voters who vote for Democrat 90% of the time don't really realize that people that they're told to hate and told to worship were all Democrats who supported these ideas. Even Obama himself behind the scenes actually supported Zelensky. So in a way, all of you Black voters who voted for Obama blindly for one reason indirectly supported the coup in Ukraine and actually supported a Nazi in Ukraine, as well as their other units.
Exactly. They don't see it that way because, the media, they will frame it how they want to frame it, and they won't see the actual truth. But thank you for the call as always. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay. Have a good evening.
Same to you now. All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Get to some more here. 918, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, ABL? It's JB Scotchman from Oklahoma. How you doing, buddy?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, not a lot, man. Hey, man, you're killing it tonight, man. Your whole thing about Ukraine and that whole war, man, that was, man, 100% agree. 100% agree.
Thank you.
Yeah, this Zelensky guy coming over here and just Like, hey, give me some more money, give me, 10, 20 more billion. I don't know, man. Like, who cares about this stupid war anymore, except for the people that are making money off of it, which are all the congressmen and high up people. Yeah, to the average American, we don't care about this freaking war. I don't know. It makes me want to puke, honestly.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. A couple quick things. I know you're on late tonight. So, the movie Avatar 2 is coming out like this week. I think it might already be out. Yeah, I like the first one. It was okay. I wasn't crazy about it, but did you see all the stuff that reviewers are writing, how it's racist, that it didn't hire enough people of color to play the characters?
What I saw was it said it was like cultural appropriation and white savior complex. I'm like, we talking about blue humanoids, not even human beings, like blue aliens. What we
yeah.
I don't understand.
I know. It's like, who cares who plays what, I mean, and in the end, you're going to be blue,
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the next, Ben Carson. Did you hear about this? This is a crazy story. I heard on Gutfeld last night. I guess he's from Detroit, and he had a school, the School of Science and Medicine, and it was called Dr. Ben Carson School of Science and Medicine. And the administration decided to take his name off there because of his political affiliation.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. And this is a man, he's a freaking neurosurgeon. I mean, he can operate on your brain.
Right.
I mean, yeah, and they want to take his name down from a school of science and medical learning. I mean, what the heck? That, I don't know.
Makes no sense.
That one really. Yeah. But I got one last thing to say real quick, buddy.
All righty.
Hey, I know it's 2022 or almost 2023, and things have progressed so much. So I have an announcement to make.
Okay.
I'm pregnant.
You're pregnant. How is that going to work?
Yeah, I don't even know how it happened, dude. I don't know how it happened. I went to the doctor a couple of days ago, and they're like, Mr. J.B. Scotsman, you're pregnant.
Wow. I'm
like, okay, yeah, I guess that's the thing that can happen now. All right, dude. Well, I'm glad you're on tonight, man. Love talking to you. Love you, man. Love everybody in the chat. You have a good night and good holiday weekend, buddy.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right, later.
All right, great call as always. You guys are fantastic. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. 623, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, yeah, it's Colin from Phoenix. How are you doing?
Oh, it's all good. About yourself?
I'm good. Have you followed the Kerry Lakes trial going on today?
I've not followed it today. I've been hearing about it, but I've not really been following it closely.
Yeah, so basically, we have like a bunch of witnesses coming up and testifying what's happening in the election that just happened.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is the recorder, our recorder, right? He's on vacation right now in Panama. So when he show up in court, he shows up like a homeless person. Wow. And also at the same time, he tried to say that, I didn't start a pack against MAGA candidate, which if you look it up, it's not true. I don't know why he's specifically saying things like that. And also the defense team for Maricopa is absolutely incompetent. Like they're giving Lake more ammo than she needed.
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting.
So yeah, I thought that originally, the church going to toss this case out, but we'll see. I mean, Arizona is desperately in need of like election reform. This could be it.
Yeah, you know what? I don't want to get my hopes up, but I want to, see how the whole thing unfolds because something could come of it. Like you said, it could have just been tossed out, might not have been the issue, but we'll see what comes of it.
Yeah, and another thing is, do you think Ron DeSantis would run for president?
It's kind of hard to tell. I'm kind of like 50-50. I think that if he sees an opening to where it makes sense, then he would. The whole thing with Trump announcing that he's going to run kind of dampened it. I think if Trump didn't announce, he most certainly would have run. But I think if he sees an opening to where it makes sense, he'll go ahead and do it. But if not, he'll continue to be the governor of Florida.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't run, because if he doesn't run, the GOP, especially the establishment people, will suffer very hard because of it. Because I think that I see all around Twitter that they are aligning themselves to try to force DeSantis to run. If he does not run, then there will be no messy primaries, and then we'll be good.
Right on.
So yeah, but if we do run, would you support Ron DeSantis or Donald Trump?
I would say DeSantis, not because I don't like Donald Trump, it's because I think he has better chance of being able to win. I think the public has been so demoralized. It's the same thing going on with this whole Ukraine thing. Like, the general public generally thinks that supporting Ukraine with endless taxpayer dollars is a good thing. They think that. Although it's not true, it doesn't make a difference. It's what they think. And the same thing with Trump. They think that he's like this really bad person. It's not true, but it doesn't make a difference. All that matters is what they think. So you got to be able to win over the general public who don't know any better. And I think a better way to do that would be with Donald Trump.
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, pardon me, with DeSantis. I mean with DeSantis. I said Donald Trump, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. But if DeSantis run, have to kind of set it out. Depending on how the primaries turns out, what people support DeSantis and so on, right?
Yeah, I think he would get a lot of support. It kind of reminds me of the whole thing with Georgia. Herschel Walker, that was a candidate that got a lot of attention when he first announced, but then when the media did their job and they dug up his past and they turned the public against him, he suffered. If you would have had a regular everyday normie in there, he would have been able to succeed. Same thing with Virginia. Another example would be Glenn Youngkin. Glenn Youngkin was kind of an unknown person in the GOP, but was able to win in the place that had been going blue for a while. He was able to win against a former governor and Terry McAuliffe, a Democrat who was very popular in D.C., who was Hillary Clinton's 2008 campaign manager. He was able to defeat that guy with no name because he was a classic babyface normie that they could just trust and not have any kind of controversy. That's kind of how the general public is nowadays. You got to be able to find that person that could fit that criteria.
Yeah, the problem is most of the problem with Trump is kind of made up by the media. I mean, he did some things that's considered bad by others, and the media just amplify it. So we'll see if DeSantis ran, how the media gonna treat him if he win the primaries.
Right. Yeah. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I just kind of hope that DeSantis will just sit this one out. I mean, he's still got a future in a political career, and 2024, I think it's a bit too soon for him. And I really don't want a messy primaries right now.
Yeah, I hear you. That makes sense.
Yeah, so that's all I'm going to say. Have a good night.
Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you. Yeah, a lot of you guys are saying that, it's the media. I know it's the media. I understand. But I understand this is why the media is so important, because they can successfully poison the minds of the American people. I get that 100%. Like, you're not telling me a thing that's incorrect. You're totally right. 678, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Mr. Logan, this is TJ Jizzle. from Atlanta. And I'm really enjoying your show. Awesome show today. Two things I wanted to bring up. And the first thing is the whole hubbub with the cultural appropriation that's, the backlash from the Avatar and not hiring, enough of this, enough of that. And I'm in agreement with you, but my anger is coming from, I'd like to know from those Black people who are upset and saying whatever they're saying, I'd like to know when was the last time they saw a Black female, let's say from Bankhead Highway, born with straight blonde hair. I just want to know. I mean, so if we want to talk about cultural appropriation, the last time I saw a Black woman, blackety black woman, I've never seen a blackety black woman born with completely straight hair. So the perm that they're putting in their hair or the weave that how come they're not recognizing their cultural appropriation of white people or whatever, culture has straight hair? It can't always be one-sided. It just can't. It can't. Black people don't realize, and it's just my opinion, but this will be the destruction of of Black people in general, because they're not able to see the forest for the trees, and they're getting twisted about the wrong thing. How about getting some help with Pookie, who's laying on the ground bleeding out, but you want to chase out the white cop? I live here in Atlanta, so I see it. And I promise you, when I go into Publix or the grocery store or wherever, I put my purse on the other side. If you look at me sideways, guess what? I don't care. If your pants are around your butt, they're around your knees instead of your behind. And you looking at me with your hair all in these twisty things, whatever, sticking up out your head. I'm moving my purse to the other side. I'm not playing with you. I'm putting my purse on the other side. Matter of fact, I'm going to hit lock on the door when I see you walking by me. It just is, but you're doing it to yourself. But when somebody wants to help you, when somebody's trying to give your brother some help, you're going to chase him off because of his skin color. Now, I talked to a white cop today, and I asked him what was his feeling on this. He said, Mr. Logan, he said, what I foresee happening, it's going to be sort of like a blue flu sort of thing in Atlanta. He said, so white cops are going to and not go to certain areas, and I'm coughing on purpose. Mm-hmm. They're going to stop going to certain areas, and guess what? This is going to be a bad thing, because then black officers are going to say, oh, it's like that? They're going to stop going to white area. This is not going to end well. It's not going to end well, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. I live here, and I'm telling you, I'm glad I have my little farm in Carrollton, and I'm good to go. I'm good. But, I don't know how this is going to work out for Atlanta. And then with DeSantis with him possibly running, a lot of people are saying that he's not, but I heard a press conference where he was asked, would you unequivocally say that you will remain the governor of Florida? And he had that opportunity to say that, yes, I will. And he, from my understanding, he did not unequivocally say that he will remain the governor for his entire term. So if he was going to remain governor and absolutely not run, maybe it would have been a good time to say it. But I don't know if if that's what came out of his mouth.
Yeah, he probably won't come out and say, I'm not going to do it, because that door's going to be open. So if he decides he's going to jump in the race, if it makes sense, he probably would do it. He won't come out and say, no, I won't, because, it'd be too easy. If the door is open, go in and go in.
Right. Have you heard about the super PAC that has formed against him running, though?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, apparently there is a super PAC that has formed, and their whole purpose, obviously, is to take him down. And the word is that they have said, we will do everything short of breaking the law to make sure that he does not become president.
Wow, like that, huh?
Yeah, that's strong. That's strong. That's strong. That sounds a little sus to me. That's not a Republican, and it's supposed to be a Republican super PAC. Yeah, I'm not buying that one.
I don't know about that one. I don't buy it either.
Right. That smells a little Pelosi-ish. I didn't mean to say.
Right, I got you.
Yes, sir. Well, stay warm. Merry Christmas. Hi to all the chat, and have a great holiday, sir.
Thank you for the call. Merry Christmas. All right. Great call. We got more calls on the line. I'll be here for a little while longer, so y'all hang tight. 773, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, it's your retired Chicago police officer friend. Listen, ABL, this whole thing with the Atlanta police officer, I am angry at the Atlanta police officer and the rest of those police. And here's why. That is nothing new that happens. The public is doing what it's supposed to do. They're killing each other on the streets in the ghetto there, and they're talking trash. That happens all the time. The thing that is new is the way the police reacted. I'm not going anywhere. I don't care what somebody says. You don't back down. You don't turn around and get in your car because people are talking trash and saying you don't belong here, blah, blah, blah. These streets, it's policed by the police. I'm staying put right where I'm at. You could walk away, say what you want to me. So it's the police that were wrong in that incident, ABL. They should not back down. You could see the fear not only in the white police officer's eyes, but the other officers, black, white, female, male, it doesn't matter. We're the police. We don't back down. I'm not going anywhere. You can call me any name you want to call me, honky, this, that. I don't belong there. No, I belong here because this is the streets that I police. And it made me so angry, ABL, because that's the new police force, is that you're going to be able to talk me, tell me what to do and talk me out of doing my job. No. I'm not hiding in the car. I'm not getting in the car and driving away with my with my partner, and then some other black police officer takes my place. That's not happening. We're the police. We're all, blue with the rest of my brothers and sisters of every race, color, and creed. It doesn't matter. We're not going anywhere. And to see the police back down just made me so angry, ABL. We don't do that. We don't run away as the police. We don't have the luxury to run away because we're afraid, or because you told me to leave, or because I'm scared. You don't belong in that job if you're scared. If you can't take control of a situation, this is the problem. You must be able to take control of the situation and take control of the crowd. You don't have to be able to, change their minds. But we're not leaving. As a matter of fact, back the hell up because you're on my crime scene. We're not going anywhere. made me so angry, ABL. I can't believe what's happened to the police force nowadays. And that's coming from internally, not externally. It's not what people are doing to the police force. It's how the police force react to that. I mean, it's in my mind, they were 100% wrong. The police were 100% wrong in my mind. You shouldn't back down. Got me all excited there.
Yeah, I see.
Almost out of breath. But you get my understanding, I think. You know.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Anyway, great show. Merry Christmas to everybody, all the other ABLers out there, and to you too, ABL. So I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for the call. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, it's a great call. You know, I was defending the cop. I was like, hey, man, it's a big crowd. But, you know, you got a former police officer saying, no, you don't do that. You don't back down, because they always do that. They're always going to try to be like, oh, you can't be here, and all this kind of racial stuff towards you if you're a white cop. No, I'm here. I belong here. That's what it's going to be. All right. 929, you don't line. Who am I speaking to? 929, hello. If you're talking, I can't hear you. Going once, going twice. All right, I know it's not me. I think it's you know, sometimes the connection is not necessarily too tough. Let's try one more time. 929, hello, can you hear me?
Oh, Anthony, how are you doing?
It's all good. How about yourself?
Do you hear about the EU? They are just import the CO2 emissions, the carbon footprint with they will tax every European citizen if they spend anything that they consider like harmful to the climate change. Did you hear that news?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yes, the globalist is taking over. So I want to ask, like, what are we gonna do? I mean, we have Second Amendment, right? And how this country built up is our founding father. They rise up against the British. And I heard on all the news that right now, the central bank cryptocurrency, which is just exactly like the China social security code, right? So the Brandon administration, I mean, his nursing home daycare worker, they announced that it will start at the 2023.
Okay, so it starts 2023?
Yes.
Okay.
Just right after his nursing home care worker size, like around this 2022, this year. And yes, besides that, we see Kelly Lade, she take trial on the court, which the judge have agreed her to file the election trial claim. And so forth, the first time, it seems like the judge have a bit of favor over her. But we don't know yet. We don't know yet, you know?
Right.
Yes. And I want to talk about Donald Trump.
Okay.
He openly say that he will fight for the alphabet community. I mean, isn't that sound like bunch of rhinos from both Congress and the Senate they just vote the so-called respect for the Maggie Act, which with the African community, they can bring a lawsuit against a person who refuse to search their gay marriage. For example, we do know the news about the Christian K. Baker who got sued because he refused to pay the gay. He refused to pay the K for the gay couple, but he did won the Supreme Court trial. So what I say is, it will give them the advantage able to sue successfully against those people who have religion, believe in faith, and those atheists who believe in tradition culture. Do you get?
So basically, the act means that some people, if you're LGBT, you can sue people for not recognizing your LGBT, your gay marriage.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, that's a problem because there should not be something that I'm forced to do. That's, whatever the married people, that's between them. That's not anything to do with me or anybody else.
Well, of course. And Donald Trump, he praised the alphabet. He praised the HIV, the monkeypox community after that bill just signed. Now, Dom, you can look at that. Oh, let's just let them get married. And guess what? What happened now? They screw you up. Let's just get them married. We just want to get married.
Right. Yeah. And you see what's going on now. It got a very slippery slope. But I'm gonna try to get to a few more calls. So thank you for your call as always, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Let's go, Brandon. And the salt must flow.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you, man. All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Let's go to 218 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, Mr. Anthony. This is Jason from Minnesota.
All right. We got a problem with your phone. I'm not sure what's happening, but your sound is distorted.
All right. I'll turn it down here, sir. There I am. Got my speaker on.
Yeah. Your phone is your sound is distorted on your phone, so I'm not sure what's going on.
How about this?
It's the same. Am I on speakerphone? Like, what's going on?
No, I just turned it off, sir.
Okay, I think you might want to try to hang up and call back because it's the sound.
All right, I'll do that, sir.
All righty. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I know what's going on with that. It's like a can in the string. I don't know what's happening, but sometimes you got technical problems. It happens. It could be my end. It could be his end. It could be whatever. It could be the federales trying to pull the plug. Who knows what's going on? But yeah, shout out to everybody for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. I'll be for a little while longer. I'm past 11 o'clock time because I came on like 9 o'clock. I'm super late. I was a little bit under the weather right around 8. And then miraculously, I felt better. It's like, you know what? Let's go ahead and get right. Let's go ahead and do the show. So I'm glad I'm here. All right, Les, what's going on?
Hey, ABL, how are you?
It's all good. About yourself?
Good. I just heard that you had like a little sickness there. Hopefully it's gone for good. It doesn't come back.
Yeah, hopefully we're gone. Like everything is all good.
You said coconut water?
Yeah, coconut water. It hit the spot because it kind of hydrated me, so it was perfect.
That's what you were. It's probably like a little common cold trying to come on, but obviously when you hydrate the body, hydration does wonderful things for the body.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to make a quick comment. I think it's just on 2 topics. Well, 3. I know everybody keeps asking this, and I just want to throw it out there, my opinion. I don't think Ron DeSantis is going to run, at least for 2024, to be honest with you. He seems like like the type of governor that wants to do many great things. He's been doing many great things for the state of Florida. And it's kind of like that character that you can honestly like point at, that's like, he owes his loyalty to the state of Florida, at least for his full next 4-year term. Maybe after that, I think it's a very high chance he might run then, but as of 2024, I don't see it. I'm like 100% sure I don't see it with him.
Yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from, but I think he's leaving the door open. He's not shutting it all the way, because he could just say, you know what, I'm not going to do it, and no way. So he's leaving that possibility there, but I do see where you're coming from.
Right. And we could always agree to disagree. That's the wonderful part of it all. It's okay.
Absolutely.
I'm still gonna watch you, ABL. Don't worry. Anyways, the other two things I wanted to touch on real quick is the fact that with the whole Zelensky thing, I don't know how to pronounce his first name either. I said Voldemort. So, so we got him on magazines. We got him in a book. Now he's at the White House, and I mean, unfortunately, I mean, it's the reality of it. It's like what you said. I mean, he's just playing the role. It's just playing victim, because if you're really in distress and, they're after you, the Russians and whatnot, why are you, one, getting on a plane? You don't know the safety of that plane, right? And second of all, landing here in the U.S., for what exactly? I mean, just for show, right?
Pretty much.
That, and then another comment I want to make, because you did show how, what was it? Kamala and Pelosi handed him the Ukraine flag for you with signatures on it. And I was like, okay, so here we go. We have politicians that are supposed to serve we the people. That's their duty, right? Because I mean, do I believe that this whole election integrity is intact? I don't think so, whatever. But they got elected according to them, according to the polls and what they say. So they're here to serve, number one, us, and they're taking our tax-paying dollars to go ahead and fill their pockets up. But then yet again, they're playing high school where they're signing a flag like they did back in the day for, our what was it, our yearbooks and stuff. Like what kind of stuff is that?
That was crazy. I don't know what that was.
That and that one comment that Mitch McConnell made out, that made me cringe, because I was like, wait, what? First of all, the true conservative Republicans, never have we seen them stand up and say, yeah, this is the top priority of the American people. No, the top priority for American people, and I can make a list of over 100 things, and Ukraine's not going to be nowhere near. In fact, it's not going to be on my list at all. Like, what about inflation? That's like the number one thing that in reality, what's the one thing that the American people have in common? Our pockets, our money. So I can honestly sit here and say that probably the number one thing that every American, like on their priority list, number one is inflation. Two, I mean, the list can go on. Two, schools, we have our border, we have the integrity and the respect for our law enforcement, everything that's going on, like in the military, how, this administration just keeps trying to as well seep in their disgusting agenda into them with all this alphabet soup and whatnot. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like, I think Mitch McConnell means that the swamp and the rhinos, because Mitch McConnell, and everybody that has common sense know this, he's not one of us. He's not a Republican. He is not a conservative. He's a rhino. And he needs to go ahead and swap on that side, flip. But I mean, then yet again, it's kind of like, these are just the parasites that are just lingering along, trying to say, we claim this party to make it all look bad, but we all know he doesn't belong to us.
That's right, exactly.
It's the reality of it, but it's unfortunate, it's sad, but I mean, what more can you expect from the rhinos and the left? I mean, nothing anymore. I don't think anything that they do or say surprises us anymore. It might be something new, but it's not like a shocker either anymore for us.
Exactly. Same old.
Same old, right? All right, ABL, that's all I wanted to comment on. I wish you a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone on the chat as well. God bless you all. And it was a great show. I loved it. The kids love it. And you keep going, ABL. We love you. We support you.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate y'all.
You're welcome. Maybe I'll take care.
I know.
Bye-bye.
All right, great call. And thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. 218, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Mr. ABL, this is Jason.
All righty, much better.
And I had sold my, I think it was my ceiling fan, sir.
Oh, okay.
And I just want to agree with the previous caller about inviting our, I don't even want to say the NZ word, but he's at our house now. What's up with that, ABL in America?
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, so you're talking about Zelensky?
Oh, of course, sir.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a whole mess. It's been just kind of a, how can I say? It's just been kind of a clown show, really. That's probably the best way to go about it.
Yes, sir. I agree with that. And I just wanted to say, hope y'all are doing good over there out east. I got some relatives out there, and we're right here on Lake Superior, and we got the big blizzard coming through. So,
oh yeah.
But you take care out there, and I just want to say y'all be safe. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Thank you for the call, man. Merry Christmas. Stay safe as well. You right there on the lake. Please stay safe.
Yes, right, sir. Yep. Watch you every day.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All righty. 470, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. Hey, it's Craig from Wild and Wacky Atlanta. How you doing, sir?
It's all good, man. How about yourself?
Well, I haven't gotten shot, stabbed, or kidnapped today in Atlanta, so it's a pretty good day.
There you go.
Yeah, that was a wild video that you showed the other day about that white police officer getting kicked out of a black neighborhood for being white.
Yeah, that was crazy. Totally crazy.
Yeah, they weren't into inclusivity, and he was there to bring some diversity into the neighborhood, and they didn't like that.
They didn't like that too much at all. They sure didn't.
No. It just goes to show you that people, everybody can be racist, even black people, and that's what I've said for 35 years or more. So, wow, that's pretty sad, though. Wow, I mean, the guy was there to help people and protect them, and they're kicking out for his race. That's pretty sorry.
It really was. It was complete. It was
a
mess.
I like the way you pointed out that if the situation were reversed, it were a white neighborhood, the black police officer came in and they said, no, you can't be here, and called them all kinds of, racist names that, that would not go over too well, would it?
Oh, not at all. That'd be cause for people to say, hey, man, we need to march on Washington. It would be a whole big thing. You have every news station involved. It'd be a mess.
No, that'd be a riot.
It would be a riot, yes.
The police, regardless of their race, are there to help any neighborhood. And that's the point, You can't kick out certain police officers in your neighborhood because, they're a certain race. But anyway, as far as Zelensky is concerned, I really had a lot of sympathy for him back in March, April, May of this year. And by July, August, I was starting to waver on him. You know what I'm saying? As far as my support of him goes, of course, to support the Ukrainian war against Russia. They're invaded after all. They have a right to defend their land. But I feel like this has become a scam. Would it be given Ukraine like $800 trillion or whatever by now, and they still can't win the war?
Yeah, really. It's a lot of money.
Where does it end? We have Biden inflation going on, and we can't even afford to fill up our tanks and buy food, and yet we're spending all this money on Ukraine to win the war. I mean, at what point does this stop? We have to survive ourselves. I mean, I wish the best for all the Ukrainian people in the world, but we have to look after America now,
I mean, I agree. I totally agree. I mean, I'm not a guy with no heart, but at the end of the day, I'm an American, and we got to come first.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. And I'll tell you one thing. I don't know if you've really noticed this or actually ever thought about this, but I've thought about this the past 4 or 5 months, especially. I see Ukrainian flags a lot in Atlanta, like in Decatur and some in Buckhead, but I don't see the Ukrainian and American flag together. And I'm like, why not? America should come first. America first, Trump 2024, right?
That's the way it should be.
I think the left, especially the rich leftists, and liberals in particular, are using this as an excuse as a way of getting around supporting America, being patriotic towards America. You know what I mean? It seems like they're patriotic towards Ukraine, and they're not even Ukrainian.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's definitely what it looks like. A lot of people, they probably love Ukraine more than they love America because maybe it's like a virtuous thing. They can say that they're trying to fight for this, poor, downtrodden country. It's a really weird thing, but a lot of that I think is just because of the media making it be like that, so they can feel that way about Ukraine.
That's what I'm saying, more or less. But I personally feel that without the media, that they actually feel sympathy for Ukraine. They've been invaded. We haven't been invaded by Russia, but we've been invaded by radical leftists here in America. They're communists.
That's right.
And want to destroy America. And should we feel sympathy for America and say America first? But no, with these people, it's Ukraine first. It's a way of getting around being patriotic towards America. It's a fact. Look at it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would see American flags in conjunction, side by side with Ukrainian flags with American flags, but you don't see that.
You're right. Totally right.
Oh, well, for whatever it's worth, anyway, I'm sorry your health is, you're feeling a little sick. I hope your health is better, and wish you the best, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thanks for the call, man. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. God bless you. Bye.
All right, great call. How about it, James? What's happening?
Hey, man, long time no see. How you been?
Oh, it's been all right, man. How about yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. This last fella who was calling is about, Ukraine and people supporting that. I've been thinking about this a good bit for a long time. And this is just, my 2 cents. So stop me where you disagree or tell me, sir, as you like. The whole thing about pushing Ukraine is a diversion to me. And the left likes to do this a lot by really assuming that their audience is stupid, right? Their memory is short, and a lot of brainwashing and mind control techniques rely heavily on volume, right? Mm-hmm. If the media says it enough, it's true. And if you say something to divert your attention from something else, you'll forget about the previous problem. Well, to me, all this is assuming that people want to be virtuous about something in a world where there's really very little to be virtuous about when you're sitting here, on your iPhone supporting something, but nobody's actually going out and doing anything. That's why I think the protests were so big, because people had something to go out and protest about, even though I think they were probably told what to protest about instead of thinking about it themselves. Alan Jacobs' book, How to Think, is actually really good on that. I suggest that to everybody. Anyway, this whole thing this is what we've told people to be virtuous about is Ukraine. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes.
Because it's a diversion from what we're actually doing in Ukraine. We're diverting this massive energy process of oil and gas from Russia, and we want people to be dependent upon the states. And he gets rid of certain pipelines in the states, which happen to be leaking right now, amazingly, a week before, nuclear fission is replaced by fusion. That's amazing. How did that happen? There's big problems in that in of itself. Anyway, but everybody in the government is wanting you to look at Ukraine and saying this is great about Ukraine when they're actually just laundering money through there for this Green New Deal stuff. And this is really just ticking me off. Anyway.
Now, I'm with you, man. I'm right there with you. And I think that people they're eating it right on up. The media, they do a very good job at kind of like brainwashing people. They eat it right on up. They don't really have any question. They just accept it and move forward.
Have you ever seen the blog? I think I put it in the chat earlier. It's on Substack, and it's called The Big Surge. Have you guys ever seen this? Maybe not.
I've not seen it.
Okay, so look, Big Surge, SERGE. So BIGSERGE.substack.com. Anyway, so there are some really good articles up there, and one of them is Surovikin's difficult choice, and then the history of the battle maneuver. Anyway, this is a really good political analysis of what's going on with Ukraine and Russia and why this is happening. It's really interesting. Anyway, I'm just going to let that all go. But one last thing. Somebody had said something before about, I think Les was really hit the nail on the head as usual about, big state and rhinos and things like that. If we want to get those guys out of government, which is what Trump was trying to do, and the reason they're not going to let him run because they're going to do anything they can to make him look bad. But if we want them out, we're just going to have to vote local and then let everybody move themselves up and then get out. Yeah. Anyway, that's me.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Really?
As far as like voting local?
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. That's what I've been saying.
Yeah, I think first off, you don't have to worry about big state interfering. You don't have to worry about people being ingrained in government. You don't have to worry about big money coming in. But then as much as that's going to come to those people and people are going to hit them up, with lobbyists and stuff trying to influence them, even then, I think people at this point are so disgusted with the big government that they may try to stay solid to it. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Right on.
Well, Merry Christmas to you guys. Merry Christmas to everybody in the chat.
Thank you for the call as always, man. And Merry Christmas to you.
Thanks, man. All right.
I know.
See you.
All right. Shout out to my man for the call. And I got time for one more. Let's do it. 615 hit online. Who am I speaking to?
What's up, man? It's Boomhauer. How you doing, ABL?
It's all good, man. What's happening with you?
Man, it's been a while. Man, dude, I'm going to have to get the outfit, man, from your boy Zelensky, dude. I got to get the outfit, man. The whole puke green frontline fit. Don't even worry about fresh and fit no more. He got the frontline fit. That mug is clean. That boy had the fade. You see his hair? He's clean. And oh man, he looked like he been popping, dude. Pop, like he's in Chicago or something. But no, man. All jokes aside, dude. If y'all, man, I might make a lot of people mad right now, but I'm just gonna tell you right now. I believe the whole thing, like his setup, his little office. They told me he's on the front lines and he's always standing outside of the same building. He's always got the same clothes on. I believe that dude lives here and he has a set, just like Joe Biden's got a set across the street from the White House. And that's what he's doing, man. They film him whenever they need him, and he ain't even over there. Come on, dude. When's the last time any dude was in a war and just decided to come on over here and hung out with Joe Biden? And they threw that dude a party, man. They was getting down. Man, it was like Michael Jackson came back to life when he was walking through the room, and they're all like, yeah, they're all signing flags. And, man, it was like a pep rally. Man, it was like a homecoming. They're like, yeah, let's go. Man, it was crazy. And they're just loving this dude. They love him more than they love Trump. They love him more than they love Biden. It's sad, man. It's ridiculous that we really, really have so many people that is falling for this. It's a joke, man. And they're sending millions and billions and billions of dollars, and they really believe that it's going to something. And if you ask me, I think the whole FTX and all that crap, man, it's all involved in it, man. Take it. That's one big laundromat. I'll tell you another time that the next call I do or something. But over Thanksgiving, man, I got into a big old fight with one of my family members. We started talking about politics, and boom, we got in a big old fight about the money laundering, what's going on in Ukraine, what's Trump doing, who's doing what, what's Biden doing, what Hunter's doing. And at the end of the conversation, that poor woman just said, well, I just think that Hunter Biden is just he does have a drug problem. I think that's what it is. And man, I was out on that one. I was like, dude, I'm out of here. This whole, and I need to start taking your advice. You always say, whenever you go to a family function, don't start talking about politics.
Don't even do it.
Man, I was hemmed up for like 20 minutes, and I was going off. I had a good time, though. I had a really good time, but she got mad, man. And I'll leave you with this, just so you laugh at this. The one thing she said to me, she said, Boom Howard, I'm going to ask you one more question. And if you get this question wrong, I will never speak to you again. And I looked at her like, huh? And then I go, you ain't gonna never speak to me again. No, I'll never speak to you again. You better not get this question wrong. I'm gonna ask you one question. All right, what's the question? Do you think the war in Ukraine is fake?
Oh boy.
And I go, what? And man, I ain't gonna tell you what I said, but what I said, it didn't go over good. It didn't go over
I know
well
it didn't.
at all. So how about that? So, anyway, man, I'm loving tonight's show, dude. I'm glad you're back, dude. Man, I was missing you. You showed up like an hour late, man. But hey, at least you hung in there and you swang for the fences, man. It's a good show tonight, man. You're doing great, man. It's good to see you again.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
All right, ABL, be good.
I
See
know.
you.
All right, shout out to Boom Howard, but that'll be the last call. Thank y'all for being here. You know, like I said, I was late coming on, so I gave you like a little extra half hour. But I got to roll out. I'm supposed to be traveling, but who knows? The weather's kind of crazy, but we'll see what's happening. But I got all my equipment and everything with me, so we're going to be still producing, still doing. And I have every intention of doing my Christmas Eve show, Christmas Eve, Saturday night, 8 to 11. That's every intention. I got all my equipment. I got everything I need. So that's the goal. As long as the power is on and I can not be freezing to death, I will be doing the show on Saturday. So y'all look out for that. And if you're not going to be here Christmas, if you're going to be traveling, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good stuff. Have a great holiday weekend. But before I wrap it up, and I'm going to do some shows tomorrow and everything else. I do my pre-recorded all throughout the week. So I'm going to still do those. I'm going to do a video tomorrow about the Avatar situation and maybe the Stanford putting the word American on the forbidden word list. I got a few topics I got from you guys. So thank you guys for giving me some topics and giving me a great show. As always, I couldn't do it without you, but I got super chats right here. Then I put on up, put the bow clean on top. Oh, and thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls out of the chat, keeping everything nice and clean and above board. I appreciate you guys. I couldn't do it without you. If you've been here just watching, sharing, liking, super chatting, whatever you're doing, thank you again. I could not do it without you. So super chats, thank you to Matthew Richardson, who says, this chat used to call me stupid for being against Ukraine too. Look at you now. I am a god. Soon you will all want gold. Thank you to Jeff Jones, who says, get some of that good pho and some coconut water. You'll be right as rain. Feel better, Anthony. Thank you for that. I'll most certainly do that. I got some chicken noodle soup in the cabinet right now. Okay, I'll put some cayenne pepper in that, and I'll be good money. Thank you to Michael Cerrone, who says, love you, ABL. Love you right back, boss. But that'll be a wrap for me. Great show tonight. I appreciate you guys. And until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.